looking at the prevailing situation, separate administration appears to be the only solution. Himachal was reorganized out of the state of Punjab, then Haryana was reorganized out of state of Punjab, Chhattisgarh has been reorganized out of state of Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand has been reorganized out of state of Bihar, Telangana has been reorganized out of state of Andhra Pradesh.
It happens even in the northeast. I think Meghalaya is also separated from Assam a few decades back.
Yes, even Manipur was separated from Assam.
Yeah.
Meghalaya was separated from Assam. It happened so many. Mizoram was separated from Assam. So what's the harm in reorganizing Manipur if it can save lives and if it can prevent violence and if it can prevent further pleasant situations from arising? Because what has been happening in the last more than 1 year now is not only unpleasant, it's inhuman, it's atrocious, and it cannot be described in a parliamentary language.
Nikupa mi pite hoso se nabon chavin pipi chongloi tokshwa kahindem kinove tuni niku agahin ke holim bidding special guest hi ahile zaumta pu Vishwajeet Singh amai Supreme Court lawyer ahin vanoi se pumpia minthang ta khat ahin lawyer hoso sila azong kita ta hungpangjing boy ki pana kona na sata apan hinla ahin kahung ke holim hundi ahin hise chundung do tain anangayo hite. Thank you so very much for making your time for me. I prepared a few questions, so let's go ahead, okay?
Yes.
Okay, my first question is, certain Meitei groups have been attempting to paint the entire Kuki community as tenants rather than indigenous citizens of the land. One of the many ways they try to do this is by presenting a narrative that the Kukis are outsiders, which were brought in by the British in the early 19th century. However, according to the court chronicle of the Manipur kings, various Kuki clans were already present in southern Manipur around 1400s. In addition to this, the geopolitical landscape back then was entirely different and our present-day borders were totally non-existent. Considering these factors, do you think that this presented narrative by certain Meitei groups has any legal grounds?
Yes. First of all, I want to make it clear here that it's nobody's job or nobody's business to start calling someone else a citizen or a non-citizen. A particular tribe or a particular group of people or a particular community cannot brand or label any other community as illegal immigrants or non-citizens or as illegal settlers. Because there's a law about it. In our country, we have a Citizenship Act, we have a Foreigners Act, the existing laws of the land, and it's nobody's business to brand a particular community which is in conflict of interest with you or which is in conflict with you, start branding them as non-citizens. Because the law says that anybody who was there in India, within the territorial limits of India, before 1960, whether before that they came from, either they came from Burma or came from Timbuktu, doesn't matter. So they will be treated as citizens. So whoever is there, living there, they are voters in the country, they have been living there for generations. And certainly they were there before 1960 or 1961, whatever. There is a stipulated year, either I think it is 1960 or 1961, or it could be 1964 also. But it has to be decided by law, not by someone, some busybody is coming and declaring someone else as non-citizens. Yes, citizenship is an issue in the country, and it's there in every country. So if there is certain influx of refugees, influx of immigrants coming into the country from somewhere, for whatever reason, mostly they come when they are facing certain crisis or persecution in their own country, home country. That's when there is an influx of migrants. They have to be treated as migrants. They have to be treated accordingly. A register has to be maintained, record has to be maintained, and they themselves would like to go once things normalize back in the home country. Why would they like to live here as landless people? they have lands back home. So this declaring them permanently as permanent illegal settlers, permanently illegal immigrants, first of all, it is disrespectful to the law.
Mhm.
Second, it is disrespectful for the standards of human rights.
Mhm.
So, for example, uh, there were a lot of refugees from Bangladesh who started coming in right from the 1960s,
Mhm.
and they came all the way till 1975, even after the liberation of Bangladesh. They have
Mhm.
not been given citizenship till date
Mhm.
because there is a system of
Mhm.
granting citizenship. Once they meet that criteria, those requirements, they will be given citizenship. And I'm sure no illegal immigrant, whoever, if there is any from the Kukizo community who may have come from the other side of the border, I'm sure none of them has been given citizenship, and they are being recorded and kept in refugee camps.
Mhm.
So this, for somebody to say that that particular community, all of them are illegals, just because you don't like them, that is against the law. They are nobody to brand the cookies as illegal immigrants, and
Mhm.
it is very concerning that there such claims are being endorsed by the state, some people in the state government. This is also very concerning, and those people have no right to remain in the government.
Thank you so much for the clarification. Moving on to the next. One of the talking points for Meitei organizations is that tribals can buy land in the valley, but valley people cannot purchase land in the hills. This might seem concrete on paper, but how true is it in reality? Considering the fact that thousands of Meiteis left their residence in the hills as did an equal or more number of Kukis from the valley. Does that not prove that although valley-based Meiteis are prohibited from purchasing land in the hills on paper, the reality is that land purchase is indeed permitted through various alternative means? What is your take on this?
Yes, see, tribal land
Mhm.
is protected not just in Manipur,
Mhm.
it is protected all over the country
Mhm.
because that land belongs to forest
Yes.
and forest dwellers. And tribals are natural forest dwellers.
Yes.
There are provisions in the constitution which protect the tribal land. There are various, in almost every state where there is tribal population, there are provisions to protect the tribal land and forest land from being purchased by outsiders, by non-tribals.
Mhm.
And so is the case for Manipur. Why are they feeling so? Why are they feeling so particularly uneasy about it? While it is the case in the rest of the country also, tribal land cannot be bought by outsiders in in Himachal Pradesh, in Rajasthan,
Yeah.
in Jammu and Kashmir, in Uttarakhand, in Jharkhand, in Chhattisgarh, in Orissa, in Andhra Pradesh, in Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu, and
Mhm.
Telangana, as far as I'm right, and even Gujarat, Maharashtra.
Yeah.
Tribal land, which has been classified as tribal land, cannot be bought by non tribals, or which has been classified as forest land because the constitution makers of the constitution must have had their reasons for making it a constitutional provision, constitutional requirement for protecting forest lands. One is protection of forest resources, which should
Mhm.
not be overexploited. Two, the demographic constitution of those forests has to be protected. Demography of that area, particular area, has to be protected from being diluted and mixed. Can you go and buy land in the can you and I go and buy land in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, in the Sentinel Islands? Why? Because the sanctity of those forest dwellers, their immunity, their lifestyle, way of life has to be protected
Yeah.
because it is sacred to them.
Mhm.
That's why in the beginning of the drafting of the constitution, this tribal land has always been protected, not just by government of India after independence, but also by the British government before independence.
Mhm.
So why are these I don't understand why this majority community in Manipur is feeling so targeted about this, that they are being left out from buying tribal land, or buying land in the hills, because land in the hills is forest land, and it is
Mhm.
being protected because of that reason.
I don't know, maybe because of their selfish motive or reason. They know that
Yes,
better.
reason, yes, ulterior motives. I
Mhm.
would clearly say they have ulterior motives
Mhm.
and vested interests.
Yeah. No matter how hard they try, the constitution is not permitting them, so it's not gonna happen, right?
Constitution as well as the local laws of Manipur.
Mm-hmm.
The Manipur Land Reform and Land Revenue Act
Mm-hmm.
has made has further gone ahead and made provisions in accordance with provisions of the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
So tribal land is protected by all means.
Mm-hmm.
How can you just try to play a victim card based on this? You are
I
not victims. It is the land. It is the law of the land everywhere in the country.
Mhm. I hope they learned something by watching this interaction. Okay, thank you again. So, my next question is, the Métis claim that the hills belong to them and that they have maintained their dominance on the entirety of Manipur since time immemorial. But how accurate is that claim? The pre-modern world was filled with occasional wars where territories were constantly being won and lost over time. For example, the Maratha Empire at its peak controlled most of the subcontinent from Rajasthan and Punjab in the north to Bengal and Orissa in the east and Tanjore in the south. However, past conquest does not matter when we talk about modern day politics. And as we all know, Rajasthan, Punjab, Bengal, Orissa, etc., are all self-governing states today, which hold no relation to the Maratha Empire. In other words, Marathas cannot claim today that Rajasthan and Punjab or Bengal belongs to them. Considering these factors, do Meiteis have any historical right to the hill areas of Manipur, despite never having administered or governed those areas?
See, first of all, I don't know exactly what Meiteis are basing their claims on.
Mhm.
They are basing their claims on some chronicles having written by the courtiers of their own kings,
Mhm.
or some chronicles, or some folklore, or some legend. So all this does not constitute evidence in modern times.
Mhm.
Meiteis themselves were paying tributes to the Burma kings. So can they come and claim Manipur now?
Yeah.
Can they come and claim the Imphal Valley now? Even if there was some interaction or some exchange of gifts between the tribal chiefs and the Meitei kings, it cannot be construed as paying tributes.
Mhm.
Okay, and if a king is receiving some gifts from somebody as a matter of courtesy, and he starts believing, or his courtiers start believing that this has come as a tribute because they are subjecting themselves to our rule. That is not evidence. And then this entire the northeast region, Assam, uh, the area, even the entire modern day Manipur was part of Assam. Before that, before independence, Manipur was an independent state for probably for a few days, and then they signed the instrument of accession with Government of India, with the Union of India, and they
Mhm.
ceased to be an independent state. And after that, they were treated first as part of Assam, and
Mhm.
then Manipur was reorganized as a union territory for some time, and they became a state only in 1970s.
Mhm.
So historical claims of this nature do not prove anything,
Mhm.
because so much has changed over the years.
Mhm.
So they are saying that some based on some history, probably which is 2000 years old and is nowhere recorded. And see, kings can record whatever they like.
Mhm.
It cannot be treated as gospel truth. Kings can Their courtiers can write anything to please the kings. It was happening all over the world.
Yeah.
So what is so great about the Meitei's own records of the Meitei kings, that they have to be treated as gospel and sacrosanct?
Mm-hmm.
So these claims they're all very flimsy. You
Mm-hmm.
just cannot make these claims, but just based on whims and fancies. There has to be some evidence. And now, after independence, everybody is a subject to Constitution of India,
Mm-hmm.
and all these claims do not matter. Once Constitution has been enforced,
Mm-hmm.
all these claims do not matter. They cease to matter at all. Anybody making such claims, tall claims, false claims, is disrespecting the Constitution, should be prosecuted accordingly for disrespecting the Constitution. The entire country comes under the flag of India.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody wants uh, to raise the question of territorial integrity of just one state, then that concept is extinct. That does not exist anymore. And so many, as I can give, and everybody knows the examples, how many states have been reorganized so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So Meitei claim that probably for a couple of months they had some control over some territory which could be 500 kilometers from their own kingdom. That does not hold any legal water.
Mm-hmm.
That is not evidence.
Mm-hmm. Making false accusation and trying to snatch someone's land is not really, ethical. My last question, from a legal point of view, is separate administration of the hill districts an achievable reality? Please elaborate.
Looking at the prevailing situation,
Mm-hmm.
separate administration appears to be the only solution
That's true.
because a de facto separation has already happened in the state.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a single Kuki left in the Imphal Valley and not a
Mm-hmm.
single Meitei left in the hill districts.
Mm-hmm.
Other than some people, some of them, I think in Moray, I think, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
So, separate administration is the only viable solution to stop this violence.
Mm-hmm.
Not only stop it now, but also prevent it from happening in future.
Mm-hmm.
Because the animosity between both the communities has reached to levels,
It's
irreversible
climax.
levels.
Yeah, has reached its climax.
Yes, it's irreversible level. And looking at the track record of the government, both central government as well as the state government, both have miserably failed in
Mm-hmm.
containing the violence. They've miserably failed in putting a curb to illegal activities of the private militia operating in the Imphal Valley and on its fringes. So, taking assurances of such a government
Mm-hmm.
on face value is not advisable, and it will be very detrimental to the near as well as far future
Mm-hmm.
of the people, and more uh, since they are not able to contain the loss of lives which is
Mm-hmm.
happening uh, till last week.
Mm-hmm.
So taking assurances, taking statements of such leaders such as the chief minister of Manipur that now things are normal. Every 2 weeks he's coming with a statement that now things are normal.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are talking.
Mm-hmm.
You may be talking to some people, or he may be talking to some people, some of the Kuki people who are not even living in Manipur and who are not facing the brunt of the situation.
Who are not
I
affected
don't
by
think
the
they are,
violence.
I don't think they have the mandate of their people to hold any kind of talks with
Mm-hmm.
anybody. So separate administration and is the only solution as far as I can say.
Mm-hmm.
There may be other experts saying other things.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can see, that is the only solution. And this will not be the first time in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I just gave you example. So many states have been reorganized earlier. Latest example is of the state of Jammu and Kashmir.
Mm-hmm.
It has been bifurcated into two separate union territories.
Mm-hmm.
State of Punjab First, Himachal was reorganized out of the state of Punjab. Then Haryana was reorganized out of state of Punjab.
Mm.
Chhattisgarh has been reorganized out of state of Madhya Pradesh.
Yeah.
Jharkhand has been reorganized out of state of Bihar. Telangana has been reorganized out of state of Andhra Pradesh.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, so, what's the harm in reorganizing Manipur if
Mm-hmm.
it can save lives and
Mm-hmm.
if it can prevent violence
Mm-hmm.
and if it can prevent further pleasant and situations from arising, because what has been happening in the last more than 1 year now is not only unpleasant, it's
Mm-hmm.
inhuman, it's
Mm-hmm.
atrocious,
Mm-hmm.
and it cannot be described in a parliamentary language.
So it's happening. It happens even in the Northeast. I think Meghalaya is also separated from Assam few decades back.
Yes, even Manipur was separated from Assam.
Yeah.
Meghalaya was separated from Assam.
Mm-hmm.
It happened so many. Mizoram was separated from Assam. Manipur's territorial integrity of Manipur, and Manipur cannot be divided. Entire Manipur belongs to one particular community. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's a big, big joke being played upon the people of the country and the people of Manipur itself.
Mm-hmm.
I think these people are radicalizing and misleading their own people into believing
Mm-hmm.
that entire Manipur belongs to them,
Mm-hmm.
and Kukis are illegal immigrants. So based on this, they can be kicked out or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
which is not permitted by law.
Thank you so very much for all the insightful information. I've learned so much from you in this short conversation, and I believe that the viewers will also learn. You have been traveling back and forth all over the world, so thank you so much for your 30 minutes. It's precious, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here,
Mhm.
and all the best to you.